The magic numbers. Whether you're looking at them from a mathematical perspective, a scientific one, or through the lens of Nikola Tesla's famous obsession, there is a lot of symmetry packed into those three digits. Here is a breakdown of why 3, 6, and 9 catch so much attention. Nikola Tesla famously claimed, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe." While Tesla didn't leave behind a formal paper explaining this, enthusiasts often point to vortex mathematics. In this system, if you follow a doubling pattern 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, the digits 3, 6, and 9 exist on a separate plane or dimension from the others, acting as a sort of blueprint for energy and vibration. These numbers share a unique relationship in base 10 arithmetic. The digital root. If you add the digits of any multiple of 9, the result eventually returns to 9. For example, 18 becomes 1/819, 54 becomes 5.409. Subintervals. 3 and 6 are the only factors of 9 besides 1 in itself. The circle. A circle is 360 degrees. Split it in half. 180, which is 188/9. Split it again. 90, which is 9/9. And again, 45, which is 4/5/9. Time. Our measurement of time is heavily based on 3 and 6 24 hours, 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Geometry. The triangle, the most basic stable polygon, has 3 sides and internal angles that always sum to 180 degrees, where 1/8.9. Biology. Carbon, the basis of life, has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Of course, if you aren't into physics or numerology, you might just be thinking of the 369 manifestation method, a popular technique where you write your intention 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. Lyrics, most notably from Lil Jon and the East Side Boys in their song Get Low. Would you like me to dive deeper into the mathematical digital root theory, or were you looking for more info on the manifestation technique? Since you're interested in going deeper, let's look at the mathematical digital root theory. This is often where the magic of 3, 6, and 9 becomes most visible because it shows how these numbers govern the patterns of our base 10 system. A digital root is the single-digit value obtained by continually summing the digits of a number until only one digit remains. If we start with 1 and double it, we create a sequence that represents how cells divide or how binary systems work. Notice which numbers appear and which ones are missing. The pattern repeats: 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. In this physical circuit, 3, 6, and 9 never appear. They are often described as the vectors, or the invisible scaffolding that controls this physical sequence from a higher dimension. If you double 3 and 6, they create their own closed loop, separate from the other digits. They dance back and forth, 3 to 6 to 3 to 6. They act as the poles, positive and negative, of the system. The number 9 is the node, or the source. It is the only number that remains constant regardless of doubling. No matter how many times you double 9, its digital root is always 9. It is the center that everything else revolves around. Mathematically, this happens because 9 is 1 less than our base, 10, making it a limit number. Philosophically, people like Tesla saw this as proof that the universe isn't random. It's built on a specific, repeating geometry where 3 and 6 are the flux, and 9 is the absolute. Would you like me to show you how these patterns appear in sacred geometry, like the Enneagram or the seed of life? When we move from pure arithmetic to sacred geometry, the 3, 6, and 9 transition from numbers on a page to the actual shapes that define our reality. The Trinity and the triangle. The number 3 is the first number that can form a polygon. In geometry, the equilateral triangle represents perfect balance. The Vesica Pisces. When two circles intersect, they create an almond shape in the center. If you connect the centers of those two circles and the top of the intersection, you form an equilateral triangle. This is considered the birth of geometry. The seed of life and the number 6. If you continue that pattern and surround a central circle with 6 others, you create the seed of life. It consists of 7 circles total, but it is defined by its 6-fold symmetry. This pattern is found in everything from snowflakes to the hexagonal structure of honeycombs. It represents the structure of the physical world, the 6 days of creation in many traditions, or the 6 directions: north, south, east, west, up, down. The Enneagram is a 9-pointed geometric figure. It is perhaps the most direct visual representation of what we discussed earlier regarding the doubling circuit. Notice the lines connecting these numbers. They form a jagged, continuous loop. This represents the physical world and the laws of cause and effect. These 3 points are connected by a separate triangle that sits on top of the hexad. The 9 sits at the very top, acting as the point of integration. In this system, 3 and 6 represent the shocks or forces of change, while 9 represents the unchanging source. If you take the 3 to 6 9 patterns from vortex mathematics and wrap them into a 3D shape, you get a torus, a donut shape. This is considered the fundamental pattern of energy flow in the universe. From the magnetic field of the Earth to the way a human heart pumps energy. The 3, 6, and 9 act as the axle, or the invisible center of this spinning donut of energy. Would you like to see how these geometric patterns are applied in architecture, or perhaps explore the 3-6-9 manifestation method now?